So I received a message that stated, let me pull it up so I can tell you guys. There's a message that says, it's finally happening. My savings account balances are at record lows. And it's not because of wasteful spending. It's literally just because my family and I are trying to keep up. And this is what we've been talking about, folks, the rapidly rising costs associated with pretty much everything we buy and need on a daily basis: food, water, shelter, transportation, fuel, gas, diesel. And there are a lot of folks out there who are actually, some of which are actually stuck in a fixed income situation, which really puts them behind the eight ball. But then there's others out there who are actually not out there wasting money on unnecessary items and wasteful spending, and are actually being responsible with their money. Yet they're in a situation where they are unable or have not been able to increase their income at a rate of which could keep up or exceed the rate of not just inflation, but how prices are going up, because there are a very expensive essential costs that everyone experiences and faces every single day, every single week, every single month that don't get factored into the CPI inflation reports. And it's for those folks that are having this difficulty, that are seeing their savings and their retirement and all their hard work and all their effort and all their energy literally being stolen and taken from them faster than they can even blink because of high prices. Now, one of the big problems that we have here is that fuel, as we roll into the winter, this cold, dark, long winter recession, possible deep, long recession, depression. And this is not to scare you folks. This is just to help educate and inform and let you guys know what's going on, what's happening. Share this information so that folks can be prepared and not be blindsided by what is happening all around us, that the media, mainstream media, some social media outlets, politicians, lawmakers, leaders, folks that want the votes, the folks that want the power, the folks that want the money, they're not going to tell you this, okay? But the simple fact of the matter is that there's some folks out there, some families that are literally on the brink of collapse in this economic collapse that we are experiencing right now, for the simple fact that their income can't keep up with the rising costs, whether it be inflation or just higher prices. And as this oil crisis continues to develop and evolve, which will be the next chess piece moved in this game, that, like I said before, we're not even actually playing, we're just witnessing it play out. There will be winners, there will be losers. The losers in this particular situation are the folks that have not secured ways to increase their income to keep up with these higher prices. And fuel shortages, strategic petroleum reserves being depleted, diesel shortages, OPEC capacity shortages or reductions or pullbacks, refineries being shut down permanently, refineries burning down, inoperable, despite other refineries possibly producing over 100% capacity. They can't keep up. Meanwhile, the U.S. is continuously exporting fuel to other countries. This is going to spell out a disaster when it comes to finances and economy and savings and income and paychecks and credit card balances being maxed out as folks are trying to pay for fuel. But they're also trying to afford to pay for the costs of everything else that fuel impacts, being transportation, being farming, being food, being any good or service that you'll need on a regular basis that relies on gas, diesel, or any other petroleum-based fuel to be produced, transported, delivered, created, whatever it may be. You could even see it from the simple standpoint that you're going to see a higher price in waste disposal, for the simple fact that the trucks that operate are seeing higher costs in the garbage trucks being run, in the facilities and the equipment that they use to dispose of the waste. Not so much the employees and their higher costs to get to work and do their jobs, they're going to get the short end of the stick, as always. But at the end of the day, the price of fuel, the availability of fuel, which we've already seen with the pandemic, where we had limited supply and huge demand, which drove up prices as we had a supply chain crisis. We're going to see that with fuel as we're using more as a country. United States is using more fuel than we can produce. And globally, we're seeing a pullback and reduction in production and supply and capacity and reserves, which is only going to pour more fuel on the fire, more gas on the fire, pun intended, that they're saying to themselves like, well, we could ask for more money, or we could just reduce the supply while the demand can stay. Although the demand is high, the demand can stay where it is. And they're just saying to themselves, well, we'll just reduce supply and make the demand seem higher, and then we can just charge more. And this is going to equate to higher prices, higher energy costs, higher utility bills, more money out of pocket, while folks are seeing their savings account balances literally disappear in the blink of an eye, as their paychecks every week are equal to or the same as what they were, possibly incrementally increased year over year, but not enough to keep up with the higher prices and the added costs that we're seeing on a daily basis. With mass layoffs, businesses tightening up their balance sheets as the Federal Reserve pushes to further increase interest rates, to tighten balance sheets, shrink the economy, cut 1.2 million jobs, and try to get inflation under control. They are literally saying and telling us, they're warning us that it is finally happening, and that this is the beginning. If not, we've already started the economic collapse that is literally going to wipe out the middle class, the lower income, the working class poor, the folks out there that are living paycheck to paycheck, trying to get by. And literally, they don't have the ability to withstand any sort of hiccup or speed bump or roadblock or hurdle that could come their way, that could put $100 to $200 to $300 emergency in their face, that could literally mean the difference of them eating that week or that month, or paying their rent, or paying their car note, possibly getting evicted, having their automobile, their car, their truck, their van repossessed, being foreclosed on, or worse, starvation, food insecurities, food shortages at home in their own pantry, on their own pantry shelves, empty shelves in their pantry, and suffering the fate and the fact of realization that all their hard work and all their effort and all their energy that they've put into this life savings is literally being taken away from them, stolen from them, and reduced to balances of zero as their savings are being depleted, not because of wasteful, frivolous spending on junk and crap that they don't need, wasteful holiday spending, none of that, just trying to survive and keep up on this safety net nest egg that they had that is rapidly being taken away from them in the blink of an eye, because prices continue to rise and their incomes have not. Now, with that being said, I want you guys to pay attention to the warning signs, see what's going on, hear what's going on, prepare yourselves as best you can, tighten your budgets if you can, tighten them. You're going to have to tighten them a lot. You're going to have to find ways to increase income. You may have to find ways to get creative to combat and fight this and survive this, but I know you can. I'm going to continue to bring you guys more information and more updates on this, and possible ways that can help folks try to keep their heads above water in these situations, so that they can at least stop the bleeding when it comes to the money being extracted from their savings accounts, while also finding ways to put money back in. You guys take care, be safe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.